My name is Brooke Cattell, and I am here to show you that creating your own artwork is a relaxing and rewarding experience that can be done for fun or for profit. Drawing can be a long process with many steps, but the main point is to go with what you are able to do and improve from there every time. I am here to show you how to draw a person in charcoal. Before even beginning the drawing portion of this project, you should find an image that you want to draw from. Since we are drawing in charcoal, I recommend finding an image in black and white and doctoring it so that there are enough areas of highlight and shadow. Once you have done this, I recommend gathering the rest of your supplies, such as a piece of plain white paper, a variety of vine charcoal, a variety of charcoal pencils, a regular pencil, a white charcoal stick, an eraser. I personally use kneaded erasers because it can take many different shapes. And your last supply will also be a blending stick. Optionally, you can also grab a can of Krylon spray to spray your image after it's done so that it doesn't smudge. All of these supplies can be purchased from Hobby Lobby. Now your first step is to take your regular drawing pencil and to just sketch out the rough main features of your image. I have already done that. I have sketched out the eyes, the nose, the general shape of his head, and his beard, and his mouth. Next, what you're going to want to do is to take your 6B charcoal pencil and to go in the darker areas of your image. After you have done this, I would recommend next taking your blending tool and just using it to just blend out some of your darker areas so that they're more gray and that they blend into more areas of the face. Next, I would take a portion of your vine charcoal and kind of just do the same thing as you were with the pencil. Just kind of move with the contours of the face as you would see them. And you can also use the vine charcoal to darken some of the areas as well. And next you'll go over that again with your blending tool. I would also use your vine charcoal to sketch in the details of the face, such as I'm going to use this kind of to start to sketch in the wrinkles in his face. And I'm also going to use this to start to draw kind of his eyebrows. I would stray away from blending over the marks that you made for the hair so that it remains its shape. Now I'm going to go in with another one of my charcoal pencils. I'm going to go in and darken his eyes. And I'm going to blend that out again. Now I'm going to take a piece of my vine charcoal and continue to shade the rest of his forehead. Now if you see that any of your areas are getting too dark, all you need to do is just take your kneaded eraser or any kind of eraser and just erase part of it away. I recommend just going lightly so as not to take the mark completely away. Now if you need any of your areas to be completely white, this is where the white charcoal stick comes in handy. You can just kind of put it around the area to whiten it up a little bit, and it tends to mix in also with the charcoal. And then you can just take your blending tool and kind of just blend the rest of it in. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to take my bind charcoal and now do the line of his mouth. And I want to keep this small since the beard surrounding his mouth is very white. So I'm going to kind of just take my blending tool, lighten it up a little bit, and kind of just blend it into the rest of his lip that's showing. Now since he is older, he does have many distinguishing wrinkles. So that's where you'll also want to use your bind charcoal to really emphasize that. Now since the ones on his forehead are not as distinguishable, I would blend some of them more so into his forehead. Now to show more of his beard, I would take my bind charcoal and just gently kind of go in to just kind of stimulate that there are, that there is hair there. And I would use different marks to kind of just show the texture of the hair. Now I'm going to take my blending tool and kind of just go over some of those marks. I'm going to take my white charcoal and kind of just go over this just to make sure that a lot of these areas stay white. Okay, now to do his hair, I'm going to take a piece of bind charcoal and really kind of just go with like the swoop of his hair. Since he does have some white, I'm going to take my white charcoal, kind of go with the swoop of that. I'm going to go in some of these darker areas, add a little bit of white. And take my bind charcoal and kind of just do a few more of these areas. I'm going to take my blending tool and kind of just really blend it in. I'm going to add this just a little bit so you can see the white. Now I'm going to take my black vine charcoal once again, and I'm going to kind of just draw in his shirt. And as part of his jacket. I'm going to do that on this side. Since I got a little bit too much of this dark down here, I'm just going to partially erase it. Okay. And now I'm going to draw in a little bit more of the detail of his clothes. And there you have it, a finished charcoal drawing. Now if you want to keep this as a keepsake or to keep it in your own personal collection, I recommend spraying it with a Krylon spray so that none of this smudges, and to kind of just keep the charcoal consistency. And then you can mat it or put it in a frame, and then you have a finished work of art.